Hello YouTube, Michelin Man 8592 here. Well, as you can see, I'm sitting in front of a filter on the passenger side of my 2010 Hyundai Accent GS 3-door hatchback. Well, it's that time again. This is the second time I have had to put in a cabin air filter. It's just time for it. And I've had quite a bit of trouble in the past trying to do it because of one simple fact. It is in behind the glove box like just about every single Asian vehicle out there. You have a couple of stop points, which are removable. They're a bit of a pain in the butt. So, since no one seems to take a video of this particular generation, which is 2007 through 2011 Hyundai Accents, both the sedan and the hatchback counterparts are essentially the same, I am going to make a video on how to do it. So essentially, depending on where you go ahead, get yourself a cabin air filter. I primarily do a lot of my shopping at O'Reilly, so there's a MicroGuard filter. That's their brand, which is manufactured by Wix. And then essentially what you want to do is, again, these two little stop points here. That one and that one have to come out. These got chewed up because at one point I tried using a screwdriver to try and remove them, but it's actually rather simple, more simple than that. Essentially, get your thumb in behind, kind of tilt the glove box upward, put your index finger on the front of it, slide it back, and then you meander it out of there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all that holds your glove box in on the one side, and then it's the same exact thing on the other here, on the other side. If I can just get I don't know if you can see in there. So essentially, thumb on the outside, prying out, index finger on the front, pushing back on it, slides back, and then essentially leaning up on your glove box so that way you can get the darn thing out of there. Out she comes. So essentially, the glove box can then drop freely, which reveals your cabin air filter slot on top of your blower motor. Now on either side are two sets of clips. One right where I'm shining my light, and then one right below that bolt section there. So essentially, you go ahead and pinch those, get the one side free, the other side free, and then you set those aside. And then, depending on the brand of filter, some of them may have this flap, most of them should, because that's the only way you can get this out. And then essentially, slide her on out of there. And obviously, it's been about a year, so there's a whole bunch of crud in there. If ever you have a vehicle that smells kind of funny whenever you're running your air conditioner, this may be your issue. These things go about 6 months to about a year, depending on your location. So it's always a good idea to replace them. Set that aside. I've already taken the liberty of opening up the new cabin air filter, making sure it was the correct one. So essentially, the filter looks a little something like that. Sometimes they'll give you a real basic instruction like airflow. This one says pointing down. So the flap goes in side up. And essentially, it's got foam on either side, so it is a snug fit. So you just want to make sure to get that to where it seats correctly. I'll go ahead and shine my light on it here. So that side's in there good. And that side's in there good. So then, kind of give it a little push. This is the issue I had with it the first time, so sometimes you have to get it to cram in there. Sometimes they are quite a snug fit. This one is correct though. So then what you do is you grab your cover, make sure that the flap gets tucked in, snap your one side in, make sure the other side's down, give it a push, and then you also want to make sure that there's no gaps for air to flow into. And that's it. So then it's essentially a reverse of installing the little stop points. Okay, I'm going to kind of pause it right there. So then essentially what you'll want to do, so if I can keep the light on it, perfect. There we go. Then you kind of push it in. You'll see it maneuver in there. Kind of lean up on it. And then you'll feel it kind of catch in place. And then you just repeat that step for the other side. And then you got your stop points back in. So then always and forevermore, you want to make sure that you verified that the issue has been resolved, or double checking your work. So then, if I can get my camera to focus here. There we go. Go ahead and start her up and turn on your fan full blast to make sure everything's, well, blowing. Gotta love the good old Hyundai chime. Good as new. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was installing a filter on a 2010 Hyundai Accent GS 3-door hatchback, a part of the 2007 through 2011 generation. I hope that helped everyone out that owns one of these things that's looking for a clearer video on how to install an air filter. And again, I remind everyone, it's always best to go through at about 6 months. Just double check on that, because if you have a moldy smell, that's your issue. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.